Alrighty, we got the first match of the championship. I think perhaps a match or two already happened, but if so, they were ones that weren't scheduled. This is the very first match on the schedule for the 2025 Dominion Online Championships between LTaco and grebst. The way the numbers worked out this year, I believe, a big chunk of the top players got a bye. There was a large number of buys given out, given the numbers. So it'll be around before we see anyone too high up playing. But for the moment, we got a match between El Taco, the 59th seed, and grebst, the 199th seed. And if you do the math, that doesn't work out quite exactly the way you'd expect it to. Uh, in the round of 256, for example, the 59th seed should be playing what would that be? The 198th seed, I think. It should add up to 257, if it's an exact bracket. Um, yeah, 198th seed. And they're not quite doing that. And that's because in order to prevent people from gaming the seeds and like trying to get an exact spot or exact path in the bracket, every year, for at least the last few years, what they do is they randomize it just slightly so that you're within 8 spots of wherever you're supposed to be. So like the top 8 players are scrambled. So if you're in the top 8, you're guaranteed to be one of the top 8 seeds, but not necessarily your exact spot. Like if you're first, you're not necessarily first. And then if you're ninth through 16th, you're somewhere 9th through 16, but not the exact spot, so on. And so there's going to be a little bit of fuzziness, and that's why the numbers don't work out quite exactly the way you'd want them to. I believe both these players are from Germany, just judging from the chat.
That's
Uh,
correct.
oh, you made it. Right, I'm joining
Yeah,
the
sorry.
video.
I was a bit late. My headset just went off.
Hmm.
Sorry. Didn't want to interrupt you here.
By the way, Grebst C is from an area in Germany where you pronounce her name like Grebst. The chances I'm pronouncing any of these right is very low, so pronunciation guides won't necessarily be the most helpful.
Did you already talk about the kingdom?
Not at all.
Okay.
Okay, so we got draw with lackeys, puka, landing party, kinda, King's Court, plenty of villages with King's Court, Blessed Village, and Festival, as well as the villagers from lackeys. Oh, and landing party is also a village. Trashing's a bit limited. Puka can deal with coppers, but often you don't really want to trash your coppers all that badly if you can't also trash the estates. There's also a cursed gold in place of one of the coppers, which gives out curses that can't be trashed. So your deck might just be staying a little bit junky. It also means the Jester attack can maybe be nasty. We can give out some curses. And then plus buy is Festival or Messenger. So certainly you can build an engine here, although it'll be a little bit inconsistent. Oh no, no, never mind. I thought I saw a cemetery, but that's gardens. Yeah, there's no estate trashing. Is probably the big limitation here. So how do they open?
Yeah.
El Taco, being friendly, opens with the messenger and distributes some landing parties, and also a lackeys. Grebst opens with invest baker and buy a baker, leaving the baker invested. How do I feel about those?
Hmm.
I don't think baker is that important here. The invest baker plus buy baker suggests to me that Grebst thinks this kingdom is predominantly about getting a bunch of bakers, and that doesn't seem true to me. Not that there's any amazing openings, so it's not like terrible or anything. But like if you invest Baker turn 1, I'd be happy just not playing with Bakers. I think lackeys would probably be my top target for invest in terms of card. I would want to make it painful for my opponent to gain. It's cheap. It's at a price point
Mhm.
where you might be buying it when there's no good alternatives. And I mean you can always unexile it later. King's Court would also be a good thing to invest, although that's probably a little bit premature in the opening.
Yeah.
Landing party. I don't think
You,
there's any clever landing party tricks here. You got to look out for ways that you can play a treasure at the start of your action phase. In kingdoms where that's possible, landing party gets a lot better. So, for example, with something like Crown, an action that's also a treasure, you get a bunch of landing parties, and you start your turn by playing a Crown. You immediately top deck all the landing parties every turn. or Reap, the card that plays a gold for you at the start of your turn, will trigger all your landing parties,
Mm.
but nothing like that exists here. So landing party is going to be close to just like a one shot plus two cards plus two actions. Hmm.
I think my main goal at the beginning would be to hit Puka as soon as possible, so I get rid of at least of all of my copies soon, so the decks will be a bit better.
Yeah, in theory, you can always open with Puka, although I don't think you'd be willing to take a curse to get it. Uh,
That's true.
again,
Yeah.
yeah, with Puka in the kingdom, you've always got cursed goal around, and sometimes cursed gold can be pretty strong if like artisan. I think is a good example of like, ooh, you can play your cursed gold turn one, open with an artisan that starts gaining you the fives, and you go from there, and that's usually pretty nice. But ironically, I think playing the Cursed Gold to gain the Puka, which is always in the Cursed Gold Kingdoms, is usually a pretty bad proposition because the problem you get if you like open with a copper trasher and have no way to get rid of your estates or the curse that you just gain is now you're eating through your payload, and then the average quality of your deck's actually declining because copper was probably an above average card in your deck at that point in time. And so here, I'd be pretty reluctant to take curses when not totally necessary.
It doesn't make much sense to replace your couples with curses, so that won't help you
Yeah.
at all. So yeah.
Yeah, so LTaco has invested in land in lackeys, and here, for example, is a place that's at least
Hmm.
mildly annoying. I think that's the card that Grebst would naturally most want to buy here. They can spend a copper to get to the fours, so it's not the end of the world. Silver, probably fine here. If you don't want, you can
Yeah.
always trash it with Puka later.
Yeah. It's not the worst spoon here. Oh, that's a lot of messengers for El Taco here.
We do have advance, so I'd expect to see. There's a good chance that that messenger gets advanced into something else. Advanced cannot
I
get
mean,
you a King's Court, unfortunately, because it's only up to
yeah,
six.
I was about to ask that, but yeah, it's just up to 6. That's a bit sad. But we are right that we see an advance here. Probably a
Yeah,
festival or jester. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Festival would
think
be
I
a.
like
Go ahead.
I like gesturing some bad stuff to my opponent here.
Yeah, I think Festival would just be like a strict upgrade from Messenger. Not strict, but pretty close to a strict upgrade because it's one buy, two actions, or one buy, two coins, and also comes with two actions. Messenger
Hmm.
technically has some upside with like the discarded deck ability, but that's usually not terribly important. So Festival would not be a bad choice. Jester it could do some damage here, also could gain you some nice stuff. I think Jester looks better here than average.
Yeah.
This is a hand where if you're a Grips, you probably really wish
Mm.
you had some villagers right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Not even sure you play this Puka. I think you'd rather just play the coppers, get those two
Uh,
landing parties back, maybe advance the
yeah,
Puka into something.
probably. I definitely like to just get back my landing parties here and not
Yeah.
play the Puka.
I mean, you could buy a lackeys, but again, the fact that El Taco is exiled lackeys does make that not painless.
Yeah. El Taco already has a King's Court and some lackeys and Jester and Festival, I guess. That's already some good stuff there. Oh,
Ooh.
Statue.
I
Jade. Oh, and draw all your blessed
don't,
villages dead.
yeah, I don't think playing that Puka is
Oh,
worth it.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I totally understand that you want to get rid of your corpus, but not in this case.
Somebody help me out. I know what Ganka means. Beyond that, I have not the slightest idea what they're talking about in the chat over here.
What did you?
In the players talking in the chat. Good luck, have fun.
Ah, okay. I didn't see that.
Makes sense.
Oh, he got a
Unfortunately,
baker
they
and
weren't secretly
drew
trash
some.
talking each other.
LTaco got two bakers here. Interesting. That drew grebst some good cards.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny. So the jester hits Baker, and then you either have to give your opponent a Baker, or you
Ah,
gain
okay.
the
That
Baker, and then it draws on
I
the two
was
cards. Ah, Grebs
I
was
was
playing the long
wondering.
game here. They
Yeah,
saw that 10 moves out on turn one,
yeah,
9 moves out.
probably. Oh yeah, that's really a bold move here. So mm, very nice for grebst or grebst.
Okay,
Yeah,
so surely at least one more King's Court here. Probably just two more King's Courts. Looks good.
yeah, looks good to me.
King's Court, quite a strong card. Some say one of the strongest in the game. Oh, I don't know why I totally overlooked that. So they did it in one order that potentially makes sense, which is you buy King's Court and then you invest King's Court, leaving that card in exile, so that if your opponent gains a King's Court, you draw two cards. I would have pretty seriously considered the other way around. Invest King's Court, then
Hmm.
buy King's Court, and then
So you
you
get
can always take the other copies of King's Court off the exile mat. You'll lose the effect; it won't be active anymore, but you just got a second King's Court for 4. I was just thinking buy two King's Courts for 14 money, which is obviously worse. But invest King's Court, buy King's Court. You got two King's Court. You can spend your third buy on a lackeys or something. That sounds pretty good.
yeah, that's really strong.
Are they going to take it here? Thinking about it. Nope, they just want to leave it.
They don't. All king's courts are in LTaco's deck, right?
Uh, yes. Aside from the one that's also El Taco's, but on the exile mat.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm?
You gotta watch out for piles here. So lackeys and Blessed Village are already low. Messenger is low-ish, and with Messenger,
Hmm.
the first Messenger you gain gives out 3 cards. So for the purposes of piling out, Messenger often makes piles quite easy to deplete. And then also a
What
Jester.
is your
What's up?
what is your third pile then? I mean, is he like is in Blessed Village, and the third one is what?
So like lackeys,
Stage then,
Messenger,
or
Blessed Village
something?
would
Or
probably be the easiest pile. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if you could
okay,
also
messenger.
like pile estates as a third pile if you like King's Court, Messenger, or something for a bunch of buys. And you gotta watch out because even if you're not strictly in pile range, you don't know what the Jester is going to give out at any point in time. You King's Court a Jester, and then it hits a
Oh
bunch of
yeah.
other Blessed Villages, and all of a sudden piles are way lower than you planned on.
So
Like that.
probably bakers could probably the bakers could go as well
Oh yeah,
with a
Baker is also
jester.
fairly low. And for expensive cards, if you're just trying to pile out, you could buy invest 5 times and lower Baker's for 20 instead of 25 money.
Oh sure, true. Yeah, that's also a way. I always forget that. Nicely drawing back here.
Also, in terms of money, you gotta watch out for advance. You leave a few actions in your hand, and you can advance a bunch of actions for 0 money each into more expensive stuff. Another way to lower piles cheaply. I would not be surprised if piles are in range for El Taco next turn, depending on how things go.
Yeah, I don't think you can win this turn, but next turn is probably doable.
The King's Court
Oh yeah,
makes
investing a
sense.
bunch of king's court. Nice. Now he
And
get them back.
what else?
Nice.
Maybe just another lackeys?
Or a messenger for an additional buy for the next turn. Does it make
That's
sense?
a province.
A province, okay, just to make sure you don't get piled. Okay.
Well, we're pretty far from piling out here.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
all right, just a landing party of sadness. Okay, so can LTaco win this turn. The minimum number of gains you would need is 9, looks like. If you get lucky on the
The
Blessed
messenger is
Villages.
3 gains, right? Messenger, 2 cards are 3 gains.
All right, yeah, actually, it's lower than that. I was
So,
looking at King's Court. So actually, you
ah,
need buy
okay.
one
Ah, yeah,
messenger, distribute 2 Blessed
yeah.
Villages,
Hmm.
buy 3 lackeys, exile 3 King's Courts with invest. That's actually 7 gains, which that sounds super
Just
doable.
let in all the bakers run with the jester.
See what else gets gained. Bakers and Jesters. So El Taco has
There,
played a bunch of King's Courts. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a win. Uh,
I think so, yeah.
in fact, I don't
It
think it's
should
going to be
be
terribly
win.
close. You King's Courts, Messengers, and Festivals, you leave a bunch of these actions in hand and advance them. This could be 4 piles, even if you wanted it to be, I think.
Yeah, it should easily win. I mean, jester probably helps you.
Mhm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so with 10 gains, they have enough to empty
10
King's
binds.
Court,
Wow.
Baker, Lackeys,
And,
Blessed
and
Village,
so much
and buy a
money.
province on top of that.
And so much money. 37, 49 if you want.
52 even, if
But
you want to take a curse.
you can just buy all the provinces, right?
We're four coins
It's
short, I think, of the
49.
provinces, right?
Oh, it's 7 provinces. I can't count. Yeah, you are right. But it's easy to pile. Yeah.
So
Okay.
they go for 3 provinces. I think it would have been more stylish to empty the bakers and take the 4 pile win.
That was a interesting kingdom for.
If they wanted the 4
So
pile
I'll
plus a
talk.
province, they would have had to gain a messenger and distribute 2 lackeys as their first gain, and they missed that window. Okay, kingdom number 2. I think this looks pretty straightforward. We
Invest
got,
again. Is this an invest cage match?
yeah, apparently. Uh, we got draw, we got a village, we got thinning, we got plus buy.
If buy
Yeah, so presumably the goal here is play a bunch of bridge trolls. Tends to be the goal in bridge troll kingdoms.
the
Uh,
village situation is a bit awkward with only farmhands, right?
wait, does neither of these players have any cards banned? That is
I don't think so.
risky. It's quite risky. Uh,
Oh, can open Old Witch.
yeah, so 5-2 is obviously phenomenal here with alms around because you can still gain a $4 card on your $2 turn.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So El
And
Taco is
as
surely very favored in this game. Player one, 5-2 split. Old Witch Bounty Hunter just
yeah,
looks ridiculously strong. Or
for
actually,
sure.
Blockade's also a very good opening choice. You can gain a blockade, or you can gain a Bounty Hunter with your blockade and be fine. So here, presumably you
Buy
buy farm
farmhands here.
hands, yeah,
Yeah,
and then use it
set
to set
aside
aside the
the
blockade.
blockade.
I think that's more
Yeah,
important than
that's
getting another
fair.
5 cost card in your deck. And once you get a bridge troll down,
Mm,
blockades will actually be able to gain 5 cost cards as well, because they'll be in the 4 cost price range.
I do not really like the farmhands for grebst here.
Let me take a look.
You don't set aside anything, so
On turn 3, they did set aside a copper.
oh, a copper. Okay, I missed that. Okay. Hmm.
I think they were hoping to hit 5 probably off of that. As it turns out, they didn't. But
I think I'd rather gain a silver for that. I mean, you sure want to hit 5 here
oh,
soon,
actually,
but
this is
I
gonna be kind of annoying.
think that's
They can't buy alms here because they have the copper in play from the previous turn.
yeah.
That's gonna stop alms from functioning.
Mm,
Invest bridge troll makes sense.
I- yeah, that makes sense. 7 for El Taco. Do I get a forge here?
I don't know. Uh,
Oh, no bridge troll. Okay. I mean, you have Bounty Hunter, but I think Forge is still a good card.
I would think about Forge. Grebst wants one.
Mm. Yeah, I like that. This found and set aside is a really neat function.
How did grebst open? Let me go back and look. Bounty Hunter
Bounty
blockade.
Hunter and
I
yeah,
see. Yeah, so I think blockade bounty hunter makes a lot of sense as an opening on the 4-3 split. They just bottom deck their bounty hunter. I was I was surprised at how they managed to not hit 5 in the opening because bounty hunter is amazing at hitting 5, and the answer is they didn't
yeah,
draw it.
yeah. That's always sad if you bottom deck your turn 1 2 buys because it misses the shuffle, so you even see it later again.
Yeah.
That's really a big disadvantage.
Yeah, this is one of those games where if you're Grabs, you're just like, there's nothing I can do here. I drew the short straw a few times in a row in the
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
Who
It's
knows?
always
Maybe
sad
they'll
when
manage to
you're
claw it back.
already the when you know that you play a very good player, and then you get these disadvantages with your opening splits and with
Yeah,
your bottom decking. Then it's really sad. You just can't do anything.
does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a turn here.
hmm.
No, we are not. LTaco is gonna have a bit of a dud. I mean, you can still accomplish a decent amount here. You play a blockade, you gain a farmhands, you set one of
You
these
can.
aside.
Yeah,
You alms, gain a second farmhand, and set the bridge troll aside. It'll be not an uneventful turn for having a bit of a dud hand.
I
So
think it
Grebs
makes
has
sense to blockade the farmhands here and set aside bridge troll or old witch.
Oh yeah, blockading farmhands is kind of I was just describing. Oh yeah, El Taco just gains 2 farmhands here, and then their turn is fine. But actually, that's going to come with 2 curses
Hmm.
now off
Yeah,
of the blockade.
but he takes it.
Yeah, I think that's
Hmm.
reasonable.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
worth it to.
You really want a lot some farmhands, and you really want to save the turn. So, well, I mean, Grips can just trash them when Altaco plays Old Witch, but as long as Grips doesn't get any Old Witches, Altaco can only exile them.
So Greb's choosing what to forge here. Yeah, probably 2 estates. I'm surprised they didn't
Why not
also
the?
trash the copper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say that. You,
not really
you
sure
should
why
trash the
we.
copper as well.
Well, I mean, actually, it's going to help us at 5 here, I suppose, but they had no way of
Mm.
knowing that.
Yeah, I would have trashed the copper for sure. She can trash a curse. That's great.
Yeah, El Taco
What is
does
this
appear to be
last
quite
card
ahead.
for Altaco?
Don't know offhand.
Oh, it's in exile. Only one estate. So it should be in. This should. Oh, it
Was
was
it
a
copper?
copper. Okay. So you don't want to trigger the shuffle.
So what's down? There's 2 curses down
An
there.
estate, a curse, the 2 curses, estate, and something. I don't know.
Let's see. Based on the score, it appears there's an estate down there, but how did an estate get down there? Last turn they didn't have an estate in their hand. Oh, I
But
see.
it's
They drew 2 estates earlier. Oh yeah, this is a bit of a nasty shuffle.
hmm,
There's 2 estates down there and 2 curses. It looks like there's also a
yeah.
blockade down there. I think it certainly seems reasonable to
Does he
maybe
have?
just stop here and set aside the Destrier with the farmhands for next turn.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't trigger here. Okay, it's a Destria. That's nice.
We'll see what they do. I don't think it's ridiculous. Like for example, the fact they blockaded a Destrier makes me think they're contemplating triggering the shuffle. And they're like, well, I'm gonna have a bad hand next turn because I'm triggering an unfortunate shuffle, but maybe I'm just gonna add an extra draw card to my hand and hope that's enough. Looks like they're playing it safer.
Yeah. But the piles get low already.
Yeah,
Destroyer
curses are
can
super
run pretty
low.
fast with the blockades. And yeah.
Farmhands is
Probably
low. Bridge
Destroyer
troll.
will be the third pile.
I think curse farmhands bridge troll looks like the most likely.
Oh, bridge troll is at 3, yeah. That makes more sense than Destroyers.
This actually makes it kind of awkward for Grebs to blockade anything good because you might just be helping your
Yeah.
opponent pile up the curses. Haunted Woods.
Haunted Woods, okay. I think I would rather have gone Journeyman there.
Haunted Woods seems too slow to me. Also, I mean, like buys aren't nothing, but you can play around it like invest or alms, for example. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, probably the answer is there's no winning set of buys here for Grebs at this stage of
This
the game.
blockade Destroyer is really neat. So
Yeah, nice to have an extra lab in
there
hand
are
at the start of the
always,
turn.
yeah.
Are you sure you want to play those coppers? If you don't play the coppers, you can alms for something. Costs 3.
Yeah, but you, okay. Yeah, 3 is the key here. Okay, I can see. But hmm. Yeah, that would probably have been better.
Presumably, we're just forging all this
Just
stuff into
forged
something.
the whole hand here, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you gain then? It's only 3.
I don't know, like a farmhands and a blockade, maybe.
Yeah. Do you really want to lower the farmhands as grapes? I don't think I
Not really
would be
clear.
scared.
So, like, you might be behind enough at this point that the play isn't even like play it safe and give myself time to build. They just like lower the piles and hope LTaco has a terrible dud and I can sneak out a win.
Yeah, that's probably all you can do here as grapes. Yeah.
LTaco once again struggling to find the villages. I know there's farmhands in this deck.
He has a couple. Yeah. And he has more Death Trios, so
But you gotta be a little bit careful here because you obviously would love to gain a farmhands, and then you're lowering farmhands a bit. You're lowering the bridge trolls, and with the blockade on farmhands, you might be helping your opponent lower curses.
that's an old witch's side. No, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, Grebst also has no farmhands in hand and is looking at 4 terminal action
Yeah,
cards.
and the farmhands are gone now, so there's no
And
option for her
I don't know
to.
how El Taco knew that they had a dud hand coming up. That's definitely gonna hurt Grebst's turn. So I think probably you just
Do
forge
you?
Curse and a Bridge Troll into a Duchy right now. Points look good.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
You could play the Bridge Troll and then Alms for Duchy. I just kind of desperately want
Oh,
points.
neat. That's nice. So you don't need to kill your bridge troll for that.
Yeah, possibly better. You get a Bridge Troll into play and you attack your opponent. The downside is, of course, you haven't trashed your
Mm,
curse, so it scores 1 less point, and your deck's a little bit more full of junk. But this that could be they also are figuring, which doesn't make as much sense to me. This should just be a win here, I would expect.
that's as far. Yeah, this is 5 buys, right? 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
6,
plus a
6
blockade
buys
gain.
and blockade gain. Yeah, that should easily win.
You could pile out the blockades if you don't
Yeah,
want the curses. LTaco knows the strength of the double
okay.
curse buy.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0
So
LTaco.
LTaco in.
And it's the first of 3.5 wins. So essentially a best of 7. Okay, what do we got here? This kingdom looks pretty weak. There is no village in
No
sight.
village.
And you got a
Hmm.
lot of draw, but it's all terminal draw, so you can't really build an engine that way. Looks like you just want to get thin a little. Not even that thin. Hmm.
Hmm.
This is the type of kingdom that I would expect a player from like 2012 to be way better at. Like this is what the average kingdom looked like. Is the question is which like 2 action cards do I buy before I start clicking province? Uh,
Would it
Contenders.
probably Soothsayer?
I would think about Soothsayer, though my eye is on Jack of all trades. Uh, Trash
Yeah.
some estates, gain some silvers. At some point, I think you buy crop rotation. I'm
Hmm.
not sure, but maybe catapult is worth fitting in there, and you trash a few coppers. Uh,
Hmm.
Fishmonger, not bad. It's not like a powerful card or anything, but it has the upside of it never will collide with your other terminal action card. Because you don't always play it on the turn that you don't have the other like the Jack of all trades or whatever in hand.
I've never seen this double jack top money strategy, I think.
I've heard tell of the double jack strategy. You buy 2 jacks of all trades, and then you just click
Yeah.
treasures and provinces. I don't think it was the fastest big money strategy, but it was good versus attacks because Jack counters discard attacks and cursing
Yeah,
attacks and
that's
so on.
true. So as Taco, you saw Grebst open catapult. The Do you really just go for Jack then?
Yeah, I was thinking about Jack already. If you want to book one with a catapult, I definitely want a Jack of all trades. I think I like Jack of all
Okay,
trades
both go
and
catapult.
Fishmonger, and just don't plan to trash my coppers. Uh,
Hmm.
they both want the catapult. I don't hate the catapult. It can hurt if you find it, or if you hit their non-Jack of all trades hand. I think crop rotation is quite good for big money decks. Even here, like with a
Yeah,
Jack to trash your estates, I would happily buy crop rotation, and that'll be quite good once you get provinces and such in the deck.
I think so, yes. I don't know if I would have gone for Jack of all trades. I think I would have gone Soothsayer and I don't know, probably Hunting Grounds is draw. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like you could consider something like 1 Jack and 1 Hunting Grounds might also be a good set of buys. Uh, I feel like this is the sort of kingdom where like you don't really want to have big long-term plans. Like I'm gonna trash all my coppers with catapult and then gain a bunch of silvers and then have a hunting grounds and draw province plus a vampire to gain a duchy or something like that. It's like I'm gonna buy a jack and I'm gonna start clicking province when I hit 8.
Yeah. Oh, this is really an awful kingdom to play. When you have a bunch of draw but just 0 villages is always really
You know,
sad.
modest ambitions. Uh, this just seems like way too many terminal action cards, right? Let me look at Greb's buys. Catapult Jacks. You already opened
One,
double
two,
terminal. A
three.
little bit of risk there. And a Fishmonger, turn 3. Snakewood is not terminal. But in 5 turns, they bought 4 terminal action cards.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to play all of that.
I can totally see that if you're not really knowing what to do here and you just want to spend some money on things that you think that might be good. I can totally see the mindset behind that, but I don't think it's really worth it here.
Yeah, I think you kind of got to have an idea early on. of
Yeah.
in a kingdom like this. I think it's like which 2 to 3
Hey.
total action cards do I want to have in my deck. I'm gonna click those and otherwise stick to treasures and victory cards and crop rotation.
Mm. I have played Grebst a lot, and she really tends to over terminate in her kingdoms and go pretty money-ish usually.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
fishmonger, for
probably
example.
just.
I was going to say that the fishmonger is a card where you can guarantee it doesn't collide with your terminals. You can just play it the turn that you didn't find your other terminal action card. The trouble is, if you have so many that you're
Mhm.
finding one every turn, you're going to run into a situation like this where she's about to draw the fishmonger, and
Yeah.
yeah, you never want to draw shadow cards if you don't have to, because you can play them straight from the deck, so you're just wasting a draw for nothing. And so this is not an ideal situation to be in.
Mhm. She's going to
So
activate Snake Witch for the second time here, I guess.
yeah, I was about to say surely crop rotation here, and LTaco agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Snake Witches aren't bad. Like
But
Snake Witch is a card that I wouldn't really like plan on gaining, but if I hit 2 or 3, certainly I think it is defensible, especially if your opponent has a catapult. It'll help you
yeah.
activate the effect. Like that's not really getting in the way of the other stuff. Which game is this? This is game 3 of the match. It is 2-0 El Taco's favor for the round of 256. Camel Division.
Mm. Do you really rather play the catapult than the jack there?
It's a
Mm.
good question. I mean, trashing a silver is one of the best targets for catapult because you give out a curse and discard attack them,
That's true.
but you're going to accomplish a lot more with your own turn with Jack of all trades. Uh, I would probably play the Jack just because I'm a nice guy.
Vampire. Okay.
So, what was the motivation? You're one of the mods for the animals theme this year for the 8 brackets. It's like a zodiac thing.
Oh, I think the last years it was always naming from newest expansions, and
Yeah,
there was nothing this time. So we just thought, what didn't we have before, and made some suggestions. And yeah, Stumpf and me, we really like animals, so
I just thought it
this
was
year we got
cruel to
them.
sort 1/8 of all players into the Magpie division. Fortunately, I dodged that bullet. It's like it's
Oh,
like in Harry
you are in
Potter.
my
Like
bracket. I just remember that you are in my bracket. Huh.
yeah, why are 1/4 of all the Harry Potter kids sorted into the evil house? How is that your system for divvying up the classes?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Can you
I was
ask again?
analogizing being sorted into the Magpie division of the championship as being sorted into Slytherin. We got
Oh,
poor
okay.
Koji and Sharir, Heth, Brian, TMN Co. Bunch of
Yeah, strong.
Magpie players.
Oh, well, Trash is a jack of all trades. Hmm. Poor Jack.
Honestly, that's probably pretty friendly given the number of terminal actions in Grep. Why is there a jester
That's
in this deck? You're drawing too many action cards every turn, and you're like, I know how to fix this. Let me add even more.
yeah. I think you really need to focus on one or two terminal action cards here, and then just go straight money-ish to be able to buy provinces at some point. I don't think it doesn't. I don't think it helps you if you just flood your deck with so many action cards here.
As you say that, when did the scholar get here? Could click on every single act. Do we click populate at
There
some
were
point? Is that
five
what happened?
scholars gone. There were
Where's
already five scholars gone.
yeah, oh, who has those? Gains a
I don't
scholar.
know. I didn't pay attention. Oh,
Looks
two
like
in Alcata's deck at least, and one in Grape's deck. So it's at least
we're
2-1.
populating
But
by hand is what we're doing here. Uh,
we see the first provinces.
this is pretty late provincing, I would say, for this kingdom.
Yeah, I agree.
And LTaco somehow winning the Scholar split 3-2.
Okay.
I would trash the silver here. The curses are empty now, so
Yeah. Just buy another silver and trash this curse, I guess. Money is
Vampire is a
really a good
card
card
here.
in this kingdom.
I was just wondering whether Vampire is worth gaining. To me, it seems a little bit slow for a kingdom where you're not trying to accomplish all that much. Gaining fives also isn't super important, but I could
Yeah.
see adding a vampire, especially if you didn't have a catapult. You know, the bat can clean up
And
a few coppers, and then it can gain you duchies, which aren't so bad here. So vampire seems like a maybe. Certainly wouldn't have as many as they have. There are apparently 4 total vampires out because there's 1 bat and 3 vampires missing. That's a lot. I would think about 1 vampire.
yeah,
2 seems like too many here.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to get an additional duchy when you need it in the end game.
Yeah, like it's not uncommon for vampire to be a good first $5 buy. You just play the vampire, you gain the
Yeah,
other 5 that you would have gotten otherwise, give them out an attack. But usually that's because you also kind of want the bat to clean up stuff. And the
yeah.
thinning coppers isn't the most important thing in a big money game. And the fives aren't super important here. So early vampire doesn't look amazing. That being said, you know, like it's competing against other 5 cost cards, which aren't that important. So like it's not terrible to add. Oh no,
Just
this is how the
another
Hall of
scholar.
Scholars are getting gained. Is you fill your own deck with scholars
Uh-huh.
to block their jester from being able to gain anything worth gaining.
And she buys an. Oh well, that's a lot of scholars.
I'm pretty sure the better play
Oh,
there for Grebs was to give El Taco a 4th scholar.
yeah, I think so. I think I wouldn't have taken another one.
In fact, I'm quite sure the better play was to give that to your opponent.
This cuts to scholars. That's not too bad at all here. When you want to play the hunting grounds. Oh, you have crop rotation first. Okay, so you can see what you draw.
Only pile
I
that
have
hadn't
never
been
played
gained
rocks.
from, as John said, that was the gardens. And then El Taco helped out and gained the gardens. Uh, they gained the gardens over a duchy. How many cards are
Oh,
in your
garden.
deck? So if you're gaining gardens over duchy, you got to expect that you're getting to 40 cards before this game ends.
He gained a garden with interesting. Hmm. I don't know.
I mean, possibly so. I feel like your deck shouldn't be 40 cards by the time this game ends, but perhaps it will be. Grebst also prefers gardens
Root
over
for
duchy.
gardens? No. Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, I guess an easy way to think about this is just like if you know for sure you're gonna have at least 30 cards, then gardens is probably gonna be worth as much as the duchy and maybe more if the game goes really long. Plus points for 0 banned or dislike cards from either player. No, that's like negative. It's very, very many negative points. If you're not
I
doing your part and banning your fair share of bad cards, it's like you're free riding on your opponents to block you from the bad cards. And that is antisocial behavior. Shame on them for not banning
I
at least swindler and
I
possession, if
usually
nothing else.
I I usually try to avoid gardens, but then my opponent gets all of them and scores a lot of points with it, and I am the sad loser. So I can totally see that you don't want to let your opponent get all the gardens.
The Garden's Rush is only sometimes strong. You gotta watch out for it with cards like Groom and
Yeah,
stuff. But there are plenty of kingdoms where, you know, you're just playing a normal game, and then by the end game, Garden just ends up being a decent source of points.
yeah.
Mighty Mark asks, "What's on my ban list? The people want to know." Fluctuates slightly. I think at the moment, for sure, Swindler. Obviously, I have a heart. Possession as well. Although at
Hmm.
this point, I think the biggest reason to ban possession isn't even the like the stalemate problems that it used to have. It's just the number of rules interactions you have to to know to be able to play with possession is too damn high. Um, Clashes for sure. Uh,
Okay.
Not sure. I recently took Minion off the ban list. Not happy
Oh, you
about
had
it. 'Cause I keep
Minion on
seeing
the
Minion
ban
in Kingdoms
list.
and remembering why it was banned. Um, but I replaced it with something. Berserker is definitely banned. Probably replace Minion with maybe Barbarian if I had to guess. I hate Barbarian. I'll have to check.
Yeah.
There's some new addition to the ban list that was annoying me that I replaced Minion with. Uh, I think my dislike list is like Frigate, Urchin, Ninja. I think was on the dislike list. Maybe Ninja's banned.
Hmm.
And then for land, is anyone gonna
It
hit?
would be
Oh
very
yeah, the
nice
populate
if you
garden
could
synergy.
ban gold.
Yeah, that's the move. You hit 10, you buy populate, you fill your deck with even more actions, and then you buy gardens to make it worth a bunch of points. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
for landscapes, battlefield is like easily the most bannable of the landscapes. Hate that thing.
Is Battlefield the one where you get VVP from buying green VP
Yeah,
cards?
yes.
Okay. I
It
always need to remember the names.
brings out the worst in people. Uh, uh, what else? Approaching army, I have banned,
Okay.
and I think bureaucracy as well. Maybe that's on the dislike list.
I even don't remember what's on my ban list. For sure, Swindler.
Yeah, that goes without saying. And then I think wall. Oh no, aqueduct is not aqueduct. The other one, palace. I think banned. I have palace, um, approaching army, and battlefield. And then dislike
Mm-hmm.
is something like wall, bureaucracy, and colonnade. Maybe salt the earth.
Okay.
Palace is so much worse than keep. I don't even think it's close. I don't understand why everyone hates keep so much more than palace. It does not make any sense to me. Keep games are. I don't think I would enjoy keep as much in person because there's like the uncertainty of like how many treasures do we'll have. I haven't been keeping count all game.
Yeah.
But in an online context
Mm.
where it can track your points for you, I think keep is totally fine. Uh, Palace is not fine. Yeah, it's like the problem with Palace. It's the one that rewards you 3 points if you have what's the word I'm looking for? A
Wasn't it?
trifecta of coppers, silvers, and golds. Is it encourages just like very simplistic, just like buy a silver, buy a gold strategy,
Oh,
and then it
just
doesn't reward you for doing
okay.
anything interesting. Keep, I think there's a lot more strategy to it. Like you can choose, I'm just gonna trash all my coppers. You can have the copper points from keep, and I'm gonna, wait till the end game and I'll take a bunch of golds or silvers at the last point. Keep, I think, often actually people think that it rewards big money strategies. I think it tends to reward
Mm.
engines, which are more
Why
capable of
did
just like
we
pumping the deck full of
play
treasures in the
this?
last turn or two.
Why
Sorry,
did
you
we
were
play this
commenting about the
Cola
actual
instead
game
of
going on. We're talking about ban cards right now. Sorry, what happened? Oh,
LTaco had 5 coins in hand and played a Scola to not hit Duchy? I don't think that was a good idea. Piles are so
I
low, and
see, I
you really
see.
want to go for points. So,
That does sound
hmm,
dubious.
yeah, I don't think that was a good idea.
Wait a sec. I like keep, but I ban keep. I don't understand that one, Koji. Followed you in the first half.
Keep is so much tracking of your treasures. I hate that, but it's not on my ban list. But
Maybe
I
they
really
ban
struggle
cards
to
for.
keep track of it.
Oh no 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 no! Grebs,
No,
what are
no,
you
no. What?
doing? Grebs, two
No.
scholars. The one
So,
time in this
yeah,
game that you were supposed to gain the scholars, you
yeah.
didn't gain the scholars.
Oh, so sad. I mean, she has a good points lead, so it's probably still enough. But that was really a sad move.
Yeah. Okay, we still gotta win.
Hmm.
Maybe now they'll buy the scholar.
Just play Jester and buy the last duchy.
Yep. Or play Jester, hit one of LTaco's 20 scholars, and then buy the last scholar.
That's all. Also an option. Please see the duchy.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
All right, Grepst is on the
Hey, she's
board.
on the board. Nice.
Wait,
So this
how
is
how many
2-1.
terminal actions were gained? We got one fishmonger, one catapult, one jester, one soothsayer, four scholars. I think that's eight terminals in Greb's deck. And El Taco has
The
Jack, four scholars, catapult. Ah, so that's the problem. El Taco is
uh,
behind 7 to 8 on terminal action cards. And sure enough,
Greb,
you're a swindler.
Grebst had trashed her hunting grounds before to gain a duchy. That was she had also hunting grounds in her deck.
Oh yeah. Um. So
Guildhall and Citadel. And Market Towns is the play action cards for spend favors to play an action card.
yeah, it's like a
Okay.
village. So your contract is a double
Yeah.
village. You can set something aside to play it, and also you can use the favors to play it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Lighthouse is
That's very
around,
neat.
so Lighthouse blocks the swindler attack. Jaunt says Highway. Oh,
Highway? When
Highway.
you
I was
say
about to say what.
highway.
Highway looks terrible in a single game kingdom. Um, but that's not the Highway that Jaunt is talking about. Um,
Highwayman. Okay.
Swindler Highwayman.
Hmm.
Yeah, so a double terminal opening does not sound bad because you have one starting favor to work with. So if they collide the first time
Mm-hmm.
they collide, you can just use the favors to play both.
With a 5, I surely would go Highwayman here.
Yeah,
Oh, but there's
Highwayman's
also
pretty
Lighthouse,
nasty.
so you're probably not that affected.
I think
There's Lighthouse, so that's not true.
I think I agree with Johns. Swindler plus Highwayman. If you have the 4-3 split, spin the copper from Baker to get the Highwayman on the $4 turn. If you have the
Mm-hmm.
5-2, probably just better to play Highwayman Lighthouse, conserve the copper. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think I want Guild Hall here. Maybe I'm not even sure about that. Um, I really don't know. Like
I
you certainly can't build much here. So what are the cards you want to click before you start buying province? I think I wouldn't mind a
there
Baker
is
or a Guild Hall
there's
to
no
get some
trashing.
coffers.
The only trashing is Swindler, right? I mean, that's not the
Yes,
trashing you want, but
there's no way to thin your card. You play
hmm.
Swindler, what like 50 times till the coppers and curses are empty, and then whenever Swindler trashes the copper, it actually just leaves your deck and doesn't get replaced. Citadel definitely looks good here. Hitting on a turn 5 is it's quite nice. Um,
Yeah, that's for sure.
I
I
think
wouldn't mind having some contracts here just for the favors, but hmm,
I was initially thinking
I don't
Guild
know.
Hall, but I think I'm back on Baker. Like I agree that in a single game kingdom, having some number of coffers is nice, so you can turn those like $7 hands into $8 hands. And if you're doing a particularly good turn, you can bank some coffers for the future turns. But I think that's a reason to either get like a Baker or just Guild Hall. And I think I like Baker more, probably just because you're not buying that many total treasures here. It's like
Hmm.
buy a Baker or two, buy some like Mills or maybe Ironmongers on 4, and then buy Province.
How much do you build here? I mean, your deck
Very
will
little.
still your deck will still be junky, so hmm.
Yeah, the problem. I mean, there's some theoretical upside to building a bigger deck, in that your deck could like play a bunch of swindlers, and that could hurt. Uh, but I don't think there's enough payoff when you can only gain one card per turn.
Oh, there's no bias. Hmm. Hmm. Sad.
Yeah, no buys and no way to gain things.
Yeah.
So there's your deck can't really do more than 6 points a turn. I mean, in a technical sense, your swindler could like turn duchies into something, but I wouldn't really want to count on that. I think Baker looks good here. Let's goes for a contract.
Yeah, Baker looks good. I think I want a pair of Highwaymen, at least.
Yeah, I think Hiveman's gonna be a strong card here.
Ironmongers are great because it's a little bit sifting from your deck.
Yeah, I think Ironmonger versus Mill is a close call. Ironmonger's probably slightly better, but the one extra point could matter from Mill. Um,
Probably, yeah. Trash is the mill. Hmm. Sad.
even even
When
Innkeeper is
when when
really
do
not
you
that bad of
start
a card here.
provincing here? The Innkeeper is also great.
Yeah, I agree with
Do you just
Province.
province here?
I think your
Yeah,
first
I
$8
think
turn is Citadel, and then every $8 turn after that is Province. I
yeah.
really wish I would have gotten a Baker into this deck at some point before I started provincing, so I could accumulate some coffers, but neither of them has touched it.
Who has the second Highwayman? LTaco or
LTaco.
grebst? Okay. Then I think I would just province here as LTaco.
Definitely not a third Highwayman. I think that's too many. I could conceive of taking a Baker here. You're about to shuffle your deck. That's the only other card I'm thinking about besides Province. Oh, nope.
You
Maho
for
Wrath
another
knows El Taco
highwayman.
better than I
Okay.
do. Baker?
Yeah, this should be a Baker.
Now, game one, I believe it was, Grebst went for the double Baker opening, and I was like, I don't think it looks any good here. And now we got a kingdom where I think Baker actually shines. Where it's just single gain, you want to click Province consistently, and both of them are like, I don't like Baker after all. Tossing Swindler. Uh, well, they do have a lot of terminal action cards in their deck. There's 3 Highwaymen in there, and how many villages?
hmm
I think there's no reliable villages. Like, this is not a kingdom where you can
It,
count on Ironmonger to be a consistent village.
yeah, that's why I would like to have some contracts.
Oh, you're right, Johns. I forgot about Citadel. So you got at least one
Oh
guaranteed
yeah.
village if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Although you have to find
That's
a cantrip to make Citadel into a real
yeah.
village. At least a village to like play 2 different terminal action cards.
Oh, Iron Man and Mill is also great synergy. I really like
Ooh,
contract here.
I don't like that order. So Greb
I would
started
go.
off by playing Innkeeper, and now there's
I
probably
think
not
we
going to
go
matter that
Ironmonger.
much. You definitely want to play
I,
Ironmonger first because
yeah.
they're kind of close into their shuffle, and what you really want is to have fewer than 3 cards left in your shuffle. That way, when you play the Innkeeper and you draw 3, discard 3, you draw 3, you trigger a shuffle, and then the 3 cards you're discarding are now outside of that shuffle. Whereas if you
Yeah.
play Innkeeper first, draw 3, discard 3, then play your Ironmongers and trigger the shuffle, those 3 cards you discarded just went right back into the same shuffle.
Crash is a contract that hurts.
Contract is a pretty good village here. There's no issue with playing your terminals in the buy phase. Yeah, I don't mind having a contract
Mm.
at some point. It's kind of tough because like it's competing with other stuff that you also really want, like Baker, and the fours aren't bad.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
contract certainly does not seem like a bad buy. Pillage. Pillage would look a lot better if either of them had Guild Hall. Is Pillage good here? I think the risk for El
I think.
Taco is that El Taco already has a lot of terminal actions, so that Pillage might
Mm.
be dead. Although they still have that one favor that they've never spent.
I have played Pillage only one time, and that was against LTaco.
Or maybe Koji is suggesting like give your opponent a pillage. I don't think I would want to give Grebst a pillage because Grebst I think would not have trouble playing the pillage.
Yeah. Found the swindler.
This swindler was blocked by the lighthouse.
Oh yeah. Again. Yeah.
I think this looks a little bit awkward for Grebst just because they're El Taco buys a province here, and then they're going to be behind by 1 point, which means it's
Yeah.
not going
That's
to be
really
safe
sad.
to buy. That being said, it's a swindler game, so
The mill trash really matters here.
yeah, so like if swindler hits a province, then you buy the last province and you win. If swindler hits a duchy,
Mm.
then you sorry, if swindler hits a duchy, just turn it into some other 5, and then you buy a province. But I think El Taco, sorry, Grepst really has to find a good swindler target here. Actually,
Yeah,
there's a decent number of good targets here. If you hit a copper and turn a copper into a curse, or a mill, that works
precious
too.
a middle. That's yeah, that works.
This is a big deal. So for sure, I think
Yeah,
you buy this province here because you're player two. So if El Taco buys the last province and it's
you have
tied,
to.
yeah, that's not a true tie. Player two just wins if
Yeah,
the game is tied in points at the end of player one's turn, because player one would have taken more turns in that situation. So
you
surely you
have
buy
to
a
buy
province
province.
here, which is not a
Yeah, you have
guaranteed
to.
win because El Taco could
But
draw their Swindler and hit something good. But I think for
yeah,
sure that's your best chance of winning is
yeah.
you buy province here and it's like you have to hit eight
Oh no,
and
she goes
swindle a
for
good target.
Dutchy.
That is
No.
a cowardly buy. Lily
Oh,
livered, yellow bellied, tepid in the most tepid of ways. Oh, and they
precious
eliminated the
swindler.
swindler.
Oh,
They didn't get a highwayman in play, so they might have trouble hitting eight this turn. Eight really isn't the key number. So like if your opponent has to buy a duchy in response, and as long as you buy a duchy next turn, then you can hit province the following turn. Failing to hit five could be a big deal, which they might actually feel to be
why
here.
didn't you discard this second highway man? Do you really want to play both? Oh, probably an endgame. It's not that bad.
Yeah, they got the favors for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
Arnie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, if
You,
Grebst buys the penultimate province and then El Taco buys a province as player one, that would just be a win
yeah,
for Grebst, even though the points would be tied. The danger was
yeah,
like if El Taco buys a province and swindles something, and that was just not that likely to happen.
yeah. I think so. And she surely had to go for province there. Ooh, okay. Oh, you don't want to trigger the
Oh,
shuffle. Okay, that makes sense.
cool. So now El
We.
Taco's really wishing they'd played that
Mm.
Ironmonger. I don't think this was an unreasonable choice to just stop here because that shuffle was pretty bad.
Oof.
But
It's
now
not
it's
too
gonna.
bad, Krebs, if he can't
This is
buy the
I don't know why
province.
Greb's just saying, "Oh, this is great for you." this
Yeah.
that swindler just won you the game.
Mm. She doesn't have a swindler anymore. That's a little bit sad, but she just needs to hit eight.
So I, some players might look at this and think, "Shoot,
Oh.
that was poor luck on El Taco's part. They made the play that seemed more strategically rational, and it just came back to bite them." In fact, that was definitely a pretty big misplay. If you go back to turn one
This
with the
wins,
ban
right?
list, I'm going to point out that El Taco forgot to ban Swindler. That was the big misplay of this game. And
Yeah.
so for sure, this was a skill issue.
Yay!
And the lack of skill was in El Taco not banning the bad cards and then getting
We
bitten
have
in
a
the butt by
2-2.
Swindler.
That's very nice. Mm. So this is 2-2 now.
High game.
Yeah.
Win man S. Vorher Wusta.
Oh, if you knew it before.
If you knew it before.
Wenn man es vorher wüsste, if you knew it before, it was what El Taco said.
If you'd known before, you'd be
Oh, then,
smarter.
do they need a new table?
It would seem so. They
Yeah.
did start that game on the old server, which
Yeah.
another
So
strategic error. The servers always change right at the hour mark, and everyone schedules their matches for the hour mark. So what you got to do is you wait until the hour transitions, and you start the game right after the hour on the new server. If you start it at like 10:59 on the old server, then come an hour's time, if the match is still going, you're gonna have to create a new table. Oopsie.
okay, I see El Taco online.
So was that an idiom of some sort? If you'd known before, you'd be smarter. I'm not familiar with that. turn of
No, it's
phrase.
just if you knew Swindler hit province, then you wouldn't play it. So in that is the sense of that, I think.
Ah, yeah. Or rather, like I think you'd play the Ironmonger to get to 8, and then play the Swindler, and then you would win.
All that, yeah.
Okay, so surely, given that they uh, transitioned from one table to another, they both had time to go fill out their ban list, having realized the error of their ways. We're not going to see Swindler in any of these upcoming games.
I don't think that's within the rules to change it mid game or mid tournament. Mm,
Can't. I'm weak of will. I
okay.
can only take one Swindler game a match. That's not even true. I can't even take for one game. I couldn't contain myself.
Okay, game 5. Ironmonger again, and that's Butcher, not Baker. Okay.
Okay, so
Skirmish trading post. Hui.
again, I
No
don't see
buy.
any tricks that
Oh,
will
buy
make
area.
landing party work here. And landing party is one of the few
Again, not.
villages. The other village is Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Although here I think you can count on Ironmonger to be a bit more of a reliable village because there is trashing and you can fill your deck with actions. So
Yeah.
yeah, play Ironmonger for village. Butcher looks like a good thinner. Farrier, the overpay effect can be draw. The later one, Garrison and
Mm-hmm.
or Stronghold could be draw. Definitely looks like you can build something here.
Yeah.
How to open? Hmm,
Hmm. Good
I'm not
question.
sure.
I feel like at the beginner landing part is not bad, but at some point they just suck when you have to try to gain them back.
I wouldn't hate like
Hmm.
landing party silver. It's a decent opening for getting you to 5. You'll probably get landing party back one
Yeah.
time, maybe 2 times. I think I'd probably prefer Ironmonger silver as a plan on hitting 5. Other options could be Ironmonger tint looks reasonable. Also pretty good hit to
Blackbeard.
5.
Okay.
You could also consider something with Farrier. Like if you have 4/3, turn 1 Farrier overpay is 60% likely to hit 5 on turn 2, which could be pretty good. And then if you whiff,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're back to 4 money. You can do it again. Uh, I understand the need to ban the worst cards, but some love the game so much in another way that they love to have the possibility to meet all cards. If that is the reason for no ban list, that is good reason in my opinion. But you gotta, sure, you can love all the
You
cards, but surely there's some cards you love more than others. And wouldn't you want to maximize your chance of seeing those cards, relatively speaking?
Is trading post better than Butcher?
Uh,
I don't want a ton of service in my deck, to be honest. Hmm.
I think I prefer Butcher. I mean, I don't hate the trading post. The silver 2 is not bad. Uh, like you'll probably want one so you can add merchants. And trading post is probably better at dealing with coppers than butcher is. So you could like start with a
That's
trading
true.
post and then add a butcher later, butcher the trading post into something, and like butcher the silvers into ironmongers
Hmm.
and keep one or two around. I could definitely see a case for trading post here. I think I would naturally take the butcher the estates, and then maybe once I've killed the estates, I could think about adding a trading post to help deal with the coppers. Would probably
Yeah.
be my preferred order.
I think I would have butchered first and then trading post later.
So now we're at an awkward stage of the game
Is it?
where Garrison is one of those cards that it's really good eventually, but it's not that good early on. When you're only gaining like a card per turn. But
Yeah.
someone rotated the pile super early. Yeah, grebst on turn 3 the first time they could. And then as a result, you're like, well, shoot, the garrisons are revealed. Do I buy them now before my deck really needs it? Or do I potentially miss out on getting them? And the players just rush to get all the garrisons. So these decks are going to take a second to get going.
They have so many terminal action cards in their deck already, and no village, no ironmonger, no landing party.
Does tournament play nowadays ever involve design kingdoms as in days of yore? I don't think so. So I believe Adam Horton hosts in-person tournaments in Indiana, Ohio, somewhere in the U.S. Midwest. And I believe his tournaments often use designed, yeah, Cincinnati, there we go. Use design kingdoms, at least for the later games, I believe. I've never been to one. I don't live in the Midwest. Um, but that comes to my mind. For online games, I don't think there are any fully designed kingdom tournaments that I can think of. A lot of the tournaments end up having some rules restriction that leads to non-standard kingdoms. So like Donald X often designs mixes where it's just like these 75 cards that were chosen around some central theme, like cards that interact with your hand in some way, or cards that don't have attacks and are friendly to your opponent. And then you'll have a mix where it's kingdoms of a specific type, but they're still procedurally
Mm.
generated, so you're not getting any exactly designed kingdom. Not that I can think
I
of, at
would
least.
have trashed the flag bearer here, I guess, as grebst.
I wasn't even looking, but trashing flag bearer generally seems like a good thing to do. Hillport certainly looks like a good card in this kingdom. A lot of good force to gain.
Mm-hmm. Skirmisher,
I
okay. Hmm.
Actually, Skirmisher does not seem like a bad buy here. I was about to say I would really like Big Farrier Overpay, which still might be the correct answer, just because you really want to have like one big turn to go off where you gain a bunch of stuff, because that's gonna set up your garrison to draw a bunch of the following turn, and then you get in this virtuous cycle where your turn's gonna go well from there on. That being said, Skirmisher actually is a really good counter to the Farrier Overpay. If you got a Skirmisher in your deck, you don't need to buy Skirmisher every turn, but just having that already in your deck means
Mm-hmm.
if they ever try to buy Big Farrier Overpay, you can buy a skirmisher and negate it. Because garrison
So
draws at the
these,
beginning of your turn, so skirmisher is not going to stop you from drawing from garrison. But farrier
so
draws at the
these,
end of your turn.
yeah.
So if you drew like a 13 card hand off of a big farrier overpay and they buy a skirmisher, you're just going to have to discard 10 cards.
She trashed the flag bearer now. That's nice, but I would have loved to see the farrier overpay here.
Skirmisher is also a mild nuisance to the flag artifact. Why did you write that out so
Mhm.
formalistically? That doesn't sound. Someone killed Pro-Am and replaced them with a doppelganger.
Or if you attack LTaco now, it really hurts.
What are we playing here? Yeah, so here's a good example where for sure you're buying a skirmisher here. If not for the fact that El
Yeah,
Taco had an 8 card hand, I would probably just buy a farrier myself. But that skirmisher is gonna be discard 5.
yeah. Now she overpays farrier. Yeah. I mean, she could know that LTaco has so many terminal cards on his hand that he can't play.
Hillfort, I think, probably. A farrier would look good except for your opponent's got a bunch of skirmishers in their deck.
Yeah.
Could also be Butcher, maybe, with a bunch of flags around.
Yeah. Which just seems reasonable to me.
It is 2
It's
all, Manny D.
hmm,
Sure hope they're
goes for the
listening.
farrier overpay. Okay.
Even once Ironmongers run Hillfort, just gaining a new landing party every turn is a village effect. You'll never get the landing parties back,
Hmm.
but you just gain a new one and keep going. Okay, looking at this
That's a
deck, I think
pretty
Greb
huge turn.
really needs a butcher. I think
Yeah.
you buy a butcher and a farrier this turn.
She gains a farrier. Hmm.
RT time. Oh, receive tribute. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good
Oh
idea.
yeah, that also.
Well,
Yeah.
how many cards are we gaining? So Hillfort gains
Yeah.
one. Trading Post gains one. Yeah, I like receive tribute a lot here. Um, you'll have to buy one thing first, and then you can buy receive tribute twice, and you gain like two butchers, two landing parties, two strongholds. Sounds really good. Not playing Garrison
Mm-hmm.
first. John says a good point. Why did you play
Yeah.
the Garrison after
Yeah.
the Hill Fort?
I don't
Um,
know. I was wondering the same.
but yeah, um,
You
Skirmisher
can
plus
on
double
your.
receive tribute. You're gonna draw like 8 cards next turn. No, they didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, I didn't notice it immediately either. But oh no, they did it. They did.
No.
They just didn't want the Skirmisher this turn. I think Stronghold looks clearly a lot worse than Skirmisher, but I think Greb still looks very far ahead.
Yeah. She can buy. Oh,
No,
province.
you can buy receive
Interesting.
tribute multiple times. There's no like once per turn clause or anything on here. Um,
Yeah.
and you have to gain cards that you
Mm.
didn't game or didn't already have in play, but it can be the same 3 cards twice. And yeah, the lack of Butcher also seems like a big mistake. Butcher would be a great card to have right now.
Yeah. Which is really.
LTaco still riding the struggle bus.
Yeah. He's not really creating villages from his ironmonger, right?
Yeah, yeah, like you really want to play the garrison before the hill fort so that the hill fort gain
Yeah.
counts towards
Mhm.
garrison. But El Taco couldn't have even if they noticed because they didn't have enough actions to play garrison
Yeah.
first, then play the hill fort.
So probably landing party receive tribute.
How many cards did they gain? They gained 2 cards already. What about copper double receive tribute?
Oh, that works. That also works. Nice. Interesting. How did he realize? Probably.
Find out. That's
Yeah.
he started with yours and then decided actually like mine
Yeah.
better.
No, yeah. So I expect double receive tribute now. But he really needs villages.
Yeah, this is a good
Nice.
kingdom for receive tribute.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really helpful here. And you can easily gain cards here. So I still like to see a butcher.
Yeah, I think Butcher looks like a very good. It is actually quite shocking the Butcher's at 10. Neither player seems to want one at all. There we
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think laning parties also make sense. When you struggle to create villages, you just want some in your deck.
Yeah. The landing parties make a lot of sense. You can't gain the Ironmonger because you already had one in play. And landing party is a much worse village, but it is a village, and you needed that when you're adding
Yeah.
3 extra terminal cards to your deck.
Look at this nice huge hand already.
Okay, do we have enough gains to win this turn? I'm not sure.
It's three farriers to ten to
Guessing we don't. So like
to
Hill Fort,
she has one hill.
just the
That's
one.
she has one or two hill forts.
I don't know. Find out in a moment.
I
Uh,
think it's two. I think she has two, but I'm not quite sure.
so if you have two
There
hill
was one.
forts, the 2 hill forts can gain 2 farriers, and then you would need 9, no, 7 buys.
You
Um,
have two farriers. You buy. I don't think she can pile
play the
this
garrison. Play the garrison before the hill fort,
turn.
please.
Or probably receive tribute helps with it. No, it
I
doesn't
don't. I
because you
don't
can
think.
only gain things you don't have in play. So,
Yeah, we're gonna have
mm,
all these in play, and we didn't play the garrison again,
mm.
fortunately.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, no win here. This deck still desperately needs a butcher,
yeah,
and now some provinces to make sure you don't get piled out on.
yeah, for sure.
So can you do butcher and two provinces here? That sounds like a good set of buys. We got 8, 12, 4. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, that's kind of awkward.
You
You have to play both strongholds for money to buy the butcher. Yee. I'd like to play a stronghold for draw if I could.
wait. This is 6 and that's 16.
So they have no money for double province.
Hmm.
I was
Yeah.
imagining double province plus butcher would look like a good set of buys,
Okay.
which you could do if you play both strongholds for money, but then you're passing up on a lot of draw. Um, yeah, the one for merchant isn't enough. You need one more money somewhere.
Yeah.
So province duchy
Hmm.
butcher, or what about receive tribute? That's still
Province Dungeon receive
yeah.
tribute. She already
There's really no
gained
downside to
enough.
clicking receive tribute to gain the butcher, and then you can get some other free stuff along with it. Which even if you don't particularly
I
want
think she goes for double province.
a bureaucrat,
Yeah.
you can butcher it. The lack of butchers is just such a big problem in terms of how much reach your deck has. Uh, if you have two butchers in your deck, for example, you only need to hit double province to be able to threaten quadruple province because you can buy two provinces and also butcher
You
two
can.
provinces and provinces. Butcher is, I mean, both good in the early game, but also super impactful in the end game. And yeah, I
I
agree with
hate
Grass
playing.
Wonder about buying a copper there. If you buy a copper, you get +1 draw this turn, so it kind of
Sure.
draws
With the
itself.
garrison. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just one free
That's.
money,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be bad in two
Yeah.
turns, but like the game might not last 2 turns.
You butcher the flag bearer here.
Presumably so.
I really hate playing butcher games against hard AI on TGG because I always struggle to win these games.
Yeah, Hardbot, I think some of its best cards are the remodel variants, and Butcher in
Yeah.
particular, I think is one of the scarier ones as far as
Yeah.
you just start aggressively milling the provinces, and then the game lasts way longer than you're expecting. Or sorry, way less longer than
I
you're expecting.
felt so good last time because I was 4 provinces ahead and then I got
Hmm.
completely crushed by hard AI in the last turn, grabbing the last 4 provinces and 4 duchies or something. I didn't expect that.
So yeah, 4 provinces here would be absolutely trivial if there was a butcher in this deck right now. I'm guessing
Yeah.
we can't do 4. Probably 3 is still winning, because you'll have enough of a point lead that probably they can't come back from that.
Yeah. Please pay garrison now before you gain anything.
Or yeah, could we pile out? Let's
And you
look at
can
that
pass
again.
pile.
So you need 8 gains. No, we don't have a pile out. You can gain 1 farrier here. Please play the garrison before the hill fort. Pretty
Yeah,
please.
I already
Just
see
switch it up.
them.
Not even because it's better. Just it's a change of pace from what we've been doing every other turn this game.
Mhm.
Try it out. See how you like it. There we go. Okay. We played the
Nice.
garrison first.
Yeah. There was 1, 5, and now it's 14. I don't think she has enough money to. Oh, receive. No, receive tribute doesn't help.
I think you
Hmm.
gain a bureaucrat here. I don't like the merchant. It's just 1 less money.
Okay, what?
Or maybe a farrier. Oh, let me see how much money this
Bureaucrat?
is. You gain the
So it's
bureaucrat.
14 for tent and the
Oh
hill
yeah. The
fort.
merchant was terrible. This isn't even triple province. Or even double province duchy. I don't like this at all.
Okay. Hmm.
So a simple option would have just
It's
been
probably enough course, the points lead is good, but
This is risky. Probably this is gonna be a grebst win, but
but
I would not be shocked if LTaco could outscore this. We'll see.
can he score 20 points? Yes. Oh, yeah, has he two?
So if they
Is
gained
is it
a
two butchers
silver,
for?
if they gained a silver instead of that merchant, they could have bought double province duchy, and that just sounds a lot safer. Um, I like the bureaucrat because you could gain a bureaucrat, play the bureaucrat, gain a silver, and draw it. And so that's basically just gaining a silver with extra
Mhm.
steps. But you gain an extra card, which draws you an extra card next turn from your garrison, and also you potentially
Mhm.
attack your opponent. Um, but clearly the correct play was anything that gained you 2 money there, because 21 is a lot different than 20.
I don't think. Who? Okay.
Ooh, we're low on actions here. I guess not enough of those ironmongers hit. So I believe El
Hmm.
Taco needed double province triple duchy to win, which does sound hard.
It's,
But again,
yeah,
like they didn't get
20
to play either
points.
of their
It's
butchers.
really.
Two butchers is just like two free provinces. Um, they don't really need to hit 21. They need to hit like 15 and then butcher two things in the province. Or maybe like 18, butcher like province duchy or something.
He could have butchered the trading post to something used to some
Yeah, like trading
VP
post
at
into
least.
duchy,
But
for example.
yeah. Okay.
But this
Ooh,
is definitely gonna be a Grebst win now. Like if you
this
know your
should
opponent's
win.
getting another turn here with how many +5 cards off of the garrison, I don't think you can count on them missing province, and even one province from this
Yeah,
position would seal the deal.
I think so.
If Grebst wins the match, it'll be a big surprise. Yeah, that would be a pretty big upset, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Where are we? Let me go back to the
Yeah.
full bracket. Yeah, so that'd be the 199th seed upsetting the 59th seed.
Yeah.
Let me go track down the ratings.
I don't know if Grips really led us a lot. I don't think so. So her rating is definitely not showing her real skill, but El Taco sure is the much stronger player. Yeah, she's a long time player, but she is not that uh, experienced in. I don't know. Experienced is not the right word. She.
Grass
What?
Wonder says win in hand.
Okay.
Is that true? We got 6, 8. Yes, that
Oh,
would be a win in hand. So you play the strongholds for 6 money, and
ah,
then
yeah.
Flag Bearer
I
does it.
forgot the strongholds. Yeah.
Alternatively, you could have
Nice.
played Trading Post and
Well,
turned the Flag Bearer and the Hill Fort into a silver. Would have also worked.
mm,
Okay, 3-2. So break
that's
point.
quite a comeback.
Yes, 3 in a row for
That's quite.
Grebst.
Yep. Nice.
Uh-oh, here's another card that should be banned and isn't. We got the Clashes pile. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah. And knights.
And Knights. Yeah. These are the sort of
Oh,
kingdoms you wouldn't have to suffer through.
banish is nice. Ooh. You have a ton of villages here.
Yeah, so it looks like the goal
You
here
have
is play a bunch of
draw.
knights and make your opponent sad.
Yeah.
Clashes will be important. Banish is the best thinning. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't notice the shelters yet. Banish, so thinning is actually really hard here. That makes Dame
Oh,
Anna look
shelter.
really good versus Dame Anna.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. That's.
so yeah, if you can get Dame Anna early on, that'd be significant. Fortunately, Dame Anna is not on top. Uh, so yeah, banish, usually you want to
Oh,
line up like 2 or 3 estates, and you can if you can banish majority of your estates, it's usually worth it. sometimes even banishing
Yeah.
one estate is worth it. Like, for example, if you want to hit 5, buying a silver on 3 and then banishing an estate on 4 makes you 100% guaranteed to hit 5 either turn 3 or turn 4. It's not a bad opening. But here, you have to banish each shelter separately because they all have different names.
Yeah. But
So
it's the
Grebst,
only thing, or do I miss anything?
so what do you say?
It's the only thing here to banish.
Yeah,
There's no
that
trashing.
or day mana. Um,
Yeah, Anna. Yeah, right.
yeah, I think silver banish is a good opening whenever you're trying to hit 5.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I would have opened with Dame Natalie here from Grebst. Obviously, there's a risk there because if you reveal Dame Anna, you could be really sad. But I wouldn't mind a card that could gain me some battle plans, or gain caravan guards even.
Yeah, that's
Seems like not a
true.
bad night to have.
But I really don't want to reveal Anna for my opponent.
There's a risk involved.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could get to 5 by gaining a silver or an anvil, I would definitely do that. But even a anvil gain is only hitting 4 here. So I'm not sure what you gain. Probably just 2 more battle plans, or there's only 1 more battle
I
plan.
think. Yeah,
Uh,
I think battle plans. I like the battle plans for sure. But I like clashes. You have it on a ban list, right?
yeah. I
Hmm.
would never play with the Clashes pile. It's a it's a doozy. Koji has a good point, which is where'd it go? Not in the pile anymore.
Yeah, the rotating.
Where
That's not.
where is Battle Plan? Here it is. Battle Plan can rotate any supply pile,
Yeah,
unlike most of the rotating cards. So you can rotate through the knights until you get to Dame Anna. So you could leave it on Dame Josephine if you want it
you.
to be hard for your opponent to gain knights. But I would go searching for Dame Anna if I could find it.
I think so. Yes. But you would only Oh, I was
Michael's kind
just
of
saying
nasty
I
too.
I would only rotate if I'm sure I can buy the top knight. Mm.
So we rotated a bunch. I thought
Mm-hmm.
Dame Michael, the discard attack one, looked pretty good here. There's not a lot of draw. LTaco did not
Yeah.
want it. I guess just really wants to
It,
find Dame Anna.
he didn't hit 5 anyway, so
He could have hit 5 if he wanted to. He had 4 money plus an
did
Ironworks, and
he?
so you could always Ironworks for a silver to get to 5.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I totally forgot that. Then the rotating makes sense. I just thought don't rotate to something that you want. If you can't buy it, then
All right, we got the Warlords.
mm-hmm.
Warlord makes this kingdom awkward because the main draw is Lost City. And so if you can't play more than 2 total Lost Cities per turn, you can't draw all too many cards.
Oh, there's also the +2 cards knight,
Yeah, so Destry can draw, and Battle
and
Plan can
yeah,
draw.
battle plan can draw if you will.
Right.
We are
At
nearly
some point,
through
we'll
the
get
part.
to Dame Anna eventually. Bailey would not be a
Bailey is
bad night.
also
There we
not
go.
bad. Yeah, here we
Okay.
go.
Ironically,
You
this would not
should
be a bad turn to
buy
play
Anna here,
Banish.
right?
um, but yeah, once you revealed Anna, surely you buy her.
Yeah, I think so. I would be I would be shocked if not.
Oh yeah, Warlord draws too. Forgot about that one. Did I mention I don't play with that pile?
You should discard battle plan here, right?
Oh, surely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I would rather have gone for Warlord as grebst, I think, than the Knight.
possibly. I imagine probably the motivation behind buying Dame Sylvia, which in itself is not the best knight or anything, is just like you're hoping you can connect your Dame Sylvia with their Dame Anna quickly
Yeah,
and get it out
probably.
of the deck. But yeah, Warlord's also a very strong card here, and just in
Yeah,
general. As LTaco be worried about losing the Warlord split. What is the split? Is it 2-1? 2-0?
it's two
That does sound like
zero.
a
I guess.
risk, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 2-1.
I did think there was a hand a second ago where they had Anna plus Archer, and they chose to play Anna and trash two
Mm-hmm.
coppers. And I do think that there was some
Yeah,
consideration to playing the Archer there. You attack your opponent. I mean, both of them attack the opponent, but Archer's probably the more significant attack, and it gets you to 5. Whereas Anna, you really want Anna to kill the estates. You can deal with the coppers if you need to with banish, um, but the shelters, you know, harder to
mm,
banish, and so you really want Anna to trash
mm,
the shelters. So trashing two
no
coppers
bandit.
versus buying a warlord was no
I
warlord
don't
there.
like the bandit camps. I would have gone for warlord for sure, just
Uh,
to deny it to El Taco, or at least go.
Probably
Yeah, mm,
it's tough. Like
yeah,
if you can get all 4 warlords, I think you basically won the game. Although in this case,
yeah,
they were only getting 3 of them. Winning the
yeah,
split 3-1 is kind of awkward. I At least I think. On the one hand, your opponent's only playing it every other turn, which is a nuisance for them. The problem is, if they have one warlord, you can't really safely add a bunch of lost cities to your deck or caravan guards or anything else because on half of the turns you're just gonna have a ton of dead cards, and
yeah. That's
you can't
true.
even play all 3 of your warlords because like if you play 2 warlords and they play their warlord, then you won't be able to play your other warlord next turn, and so then they get a free turn. Uh,
Yeah, but I still like to deny it to El Taco,
yeah. Uh,
even if I know I can't play it half of the time, but I just like to deny.
this is why I just avoid
Hmm.
this pile altogether. This kingdom feels way more miserable than the 26th turn Catapult Scholar board before. Okay, but that game shouldn't have been 26 turns or Catapult or Scholar. That game should have been like a 15 turn Jack Money game. Um,
Mm,
yeah, like in general, I think the problem with the Clashes pile is so Warlord is super strong and really stops your opponent from doing
yeah,
stuff. So you got to go for it, and you got to build a deck that can play it consistently. So you can't just play like a simple big money thing that's going to end quickly. But then once you both
yeah,
got the Warlords, you also can't really progress your deck very effectively because if you just start scoring, your deck falls apart. You can't keep attacking them, and then they can start doing stuff. And you can't really build your deck because you add additional draw, like Lost City in this case. Well, then you can't play it. And so you're stuck with these kind of like semi-functional decks that have like 2 copies of each card. You can't really go anywhere. And then you're just like very, very gradually moving. Piles aren't lowering because there's no incentive to ever empty any pile. And the games just last like an hour, in the
yeah.
worst of cases. And I feel
Well,
particularly bad for this card Territory, which would otherwise be an interesting victory card, but is the
mhm.
bottom of the pile that more than any other card in the game says, don't empty supply piles, and then it gives you a reward for emptying supply piles.
I mean, you still could play a bunch of knights here because they are just unique. So that's at least something. And you have village. I mean, the village situation is a bit awkward then, but I think you can go somewhere against Warlord here. I mean,
Yeah, so that's just the problem with clashes. Don't even get me started on the knights. We've got the knights pile here, which also looks significant.
yeah,
And it's just like Swindler 2.0, where I can imagine this game very much comes down to now you just take a bunch of knights, and then your win condition is like, can your knights trash their warlords? And if you can hit both their warlords before the knights pile empties, all of a sudden then you get to do real things. And then if you get to
yeah.
do real things, on top of just like having the better deck, that's also coming with like 3 extra points from Triumphal Arch for every additional like
Mm.
Lost City that you buy.
Hmm. LTaco has 3 battle plans and 1 warlord, and Grebst has 1 battle plan and 3 warlords.
I think
Not
I'd
sure
rather have
what's
the
the
three
better situation
warlords.
is.
The battle plan is
Do
quite
you
strong, though, I
prefer
think.
having the warlords or the battle plans?
Definitely the warlords, but battle plan is also strong here.
Yeah,
Why did LTaco not react the CGs? Uh,
warlord probably.
I don't think that's true. Let me go read warlord. I think it's only on your turn. I could be wrong. How do I find the warlord pile?
Is it? I don't know.
I could be wrong. Oh, maybe that is it. It just says until start of your next turn, other players can't play an action. So let's go see. Did they have 2 caravan
Did
guards
you?
in play already? So
Hmm.
no, I think that was possible.
Could you? Okay.
So for
Hmm.
one, El Taco didn't have caravan guards in play, but also
Oh,
um, although that they played a warlord, and so warlord would be active by the time they played the archer. But warlord is also an attack card, so you could always react with caravan guard uh, immediately when they play the warlord, which would take effect before the warlord's effect activates. So you could always play your caravan guard first. Uh, Negative says they didn't want to trigger the shuffle before discarding Anna. Okay, so something to do with the shuffle. I wasn't looking at where they were in their deck, but I guess that would explain it.
yeah,
If you're going to discard a really
probably.
good
Yeah,
card, you don't want to shuffle your deck first, and then that card goes into the discard. You want to shuffle it back into the deck.
yeah, that's true. Oh, we didn't see Banish so far. Interesting.
This looks like it'll be a good turn for Banish, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't play the battle plan
Oh, you.
or the
Yeah.
caravan guard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as Taco, as long as you have Anna, you probably do not really need to banish. But I still would like to get rid of some
Oh,
of
for
my
sure.
coppers here.
I think banishing coppers here looks quite good.
Yeah.
Also, fortunately for them, they drew a copper off the top. And yeah, it probably makes sense to trash the caravan guard. You got way too many of those in your deck right now.
You. And you can't trash a caravan guard now, right? So you mean the next turn or?
No, they just did.
Ah, okay. I missed that. Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Banish. Yes. Nice.
So I pulled up the league standings to see where they are. So we got, let's take a look at grebst and LTaco.
This is I Grabs this I was I League, I think, this season, and she just
Try.
prevented demotion.
So, oh, grebst has been
Don't
in
know
league for
where
quite a
LTaco is.
while, longer than I have. Starting back in season
Yeah.
27 in F League, they've been as high as E League. Probably most commonly in H League, looks like. And then El Taco, also been in League for a bit. 41, or season 41 they started. In G League,
Mm-hmm.
moved up and are now mostly around C League.
Yeah.
And then let me grab the sign up link.
No, a caravan got trashed. Hmm.
Possibly friendly. I think El Taco still had more than
Yeah.
2 of those in the deck. Alrighty, and here we've
I
got
would like to see a banish here too. Yeah,
well,
no, Warlord attack is a little bit sad for Grapes. That's true.
the player list.
Banish. No.
So LTaco, at the point where the leaderboard snapshot was taken, LTaco is 57.5 rating and with 1.46 mu and grebst. Oh my!
38 or something.
So grebst,
Yeah,
I didn't even realize grebst literally entered as the bottom seed. Um, but I
yeah.
think that's partly because their mu is very high, or the fee rather,
sh-
and so their rating is
she
lower
doesn't
than you'd
ladder.
expect.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. If you don't play very much in the
so
ladder, your rating's gonna be a little bit artificially low.
yeah, I would be in the same ranking, like 38 or something. And Strumpf too, yes. Yeah, but Strumpf still a little bit above me, I guess. Yeah, ladder is really scary to me too. I
I
don't
have
know
heard
why, but it's
tell
just how
of
it is.
this ladder anxiety. People get really stressed over it. I view it as exactly the opposite. Like league and the championship, or when you're like, I'm gonna sit down and concentrate on the game. And then ladder is like, I'm just gonna play some games in between other stuff and not worry about it too much.
League is stressing me too, but not in the same way as ladder is. And that's still, I don't know. I can better play league games than ladder games. I can't explain why.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't mind the like high concentration environment, but I definitely don't view the ladder that way. I feel like ladder is the casual setting.
I I can not care about my rating then, and I think that's the problem why it's so scary to me. I don't know. I made a lot of sports in my life, and it's always about winning. And I just transformed this to Dominion, and I just can't go back to just have fun and don't care about what the outcome is.
Lynette says, I have my championship match 2 hours from now and I'm super scared too. Yeah, I wouldn't stress about it too much.
Yeah,
Just consider that your entire standing in this community and how people are going to think about you for the foreseeable future will hinge entirely on how well you do in this match. But aside from that, no pressure or anything.
the championship already has started, and I still get answers from players that I onboarded, and they confirm their signups are correct.
Whoopsie. I
Yeah,
don't know who
it
we're
would be a
describing as the
little bit
mean
too
person.
late
I
if
was just
it's
saying
not
don't stress.
correct.
A nice archer reveal coming.
Hmm.
Why is this a nice archer reveal? Because they get to play the Caravan Guard?
Probably because Taco can only discard one warlord.
I see, I see. So I think Steph's way of thinking is you have two warlords on hand, and you'd be happy to discard one of them and just play one. But if you just
Mm-hmm.
hide one of the warlords from the archer, they are likely to think you've only got the one warlord in hand, and then discard the card you actually were okay
Yeah,
discarding. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah. What is in the discard pile from El Chaco? Is it just one spoils, or is there more?
Good question. Same outcome as if you hid Lost City. So potentially, I think if you hide the warlord, there's a decent chance they just discard Lost City anyway. So it's not obvious. But if they
Mm-hmm.
discard the warlord, then you're really happy. If you hide the lost city, I think you guarantee you don't get the worst case outcome, which would be them discarding the lost city. But then they're unlikely to discard your
Yeah,
second warlord, and they're likely to discard just like the bandit camp or something. So like the safer play is probably don't reveal Lost City, so they can't discard your best card. But if you want to play some mind games, you could hide the Warlord and then try to bait them into discarding a very friendly card.
Mm, mm.
Anna first to trigger the shuffle. Yeah, that makes sense. So you have two different attacks here. You play Anna first, and then they have one card left in the deck. So that's going to force them to shuffle their deck. And then the card you discard from
Okay.
Archer is not going to be back in the shuffle because they will have already shuffled their deck.
Ah.
I suppose a potential counter argument could be, well, there's some
Oh,
chance if you like discard a Lost
Archer
City
got
into the
the
shuffle,
Archer got thrashed.
then the day mana could trash the card they just
Hmm.
discarded. But yeah, probably Anna first makes sense. Archer first, so the Archer got trashed. Archer doesn't look a good card
Mm-hmm.
here. The attack is annoying. So there is another one in the pile. And someone here has two.
Yeah,
Does Grefst have two Archers? No, there's two in the trash. Um,
it's two in the trash.
so probably Grefst needs to pick up another Archer. That's not a big deal long term.
With duplicates and changeling, I think this game could end pretty soon.
That is
We have,
optimistic, an optimism that I do not have. It's a Clash's game. They don't end. Uh, I think Steph is right about where this goes next, which is now that we've exhausted the important cards from the Clash's pile, you start buying the knights, and then the game can end, effectively speaking, if your knights hit a bunch of their good cards.
yeah,
And the real problem here is like you can't really improve your deck much more than having two copies of all the cards, and they've collected two copies of most of the important cards so far. And so now the goal isn't improve your deck; it's disimprove your opponent's deck. I don't know what the opposite of improving is. Uh, dismantle your opponent's deck. Yeah, like a knight hitting a warlord, for
yeah.
example, would be a very big swing of this game. Especially Grebst hitting LTaco's one warlord would be huge.
Oh, that would be huge. Yeah, that would be really huge. So
Yes, the
LTaco
score
is
is
going for the warlord, for the knights, which is third lost city over a second bandit camp. Is that really a good idea?
potentially. I mean, Bandit Camp's not actually that great of a card here because you don't have buys, you don't need the spoils.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you need the actions. Is my concern. So I see adding a village, but a third lost city, which you can't play most of the time because of the warlords from Grebst. It's plays two warlords. That's not a.
I think it's not obvious.
Hmm.
I could definitely see having a third copy of it just because, for one, a knight could trash your Lost City, but also, like, if an archer
Oh, that's
hits, that's
true.
the card they're most likely to discard. So you don't mind having one extra redundant copy. Sir Michael looks nasty here,
Yeah,
keeping with the rest of the kingdom. Interestingly, Greps goes for
hmm.
even more Lost Cities. How many are in
Yeah.
that deck now?
Uh, Taco has three, so
So
one is in the trash. So she has five lost cities.
that seems like it might be too many. I think Sir Michael
Yeah,
looked pretty good there. I also would not, and that felt like a case of I've got to duplicate on the mat and I got to make use of it. And I don't think you got to
yeah,
make use of it. I think you can just leave that on the mat for the foreseeable future. Maybe it'll come up in the end game to gain some duchies. Duplicate doesn't work on the knights pile because if you buy the first knight and then call the
yeah,
duplicate, it will fail to gain the
yeah.
next knight because they're differently named cards. But that's fine. You buy the one knight and you leave the duplicate down rather than putting it back in your deck.
Molly also nice.
So El Taco rotated away from Sir Michael.
There's,
Maybe wants
and
some
there's
Molly.
three.
Yeah, both of those look like good knights. It seems
Yeah,
like the discard and the draw are more valuable than the actions here. I would have thought, but El Taco has something
probably.
else on the. Oh, maybe they're looking for. They're probably looking for Sir Martin, is my guess. Because I think that's still in the pile. Find Sir Martin. The plus
So
buy knight.
Martin is
You
ah
rotate to
okay.
Sir Martin.
Yeah.
Your Ironworks can gain Sir Martin for free. And then you've got plus
Mm-hmm.
buy, and then you can start buying knights two at a time. That could make sense. They actually should
And
know the
this
order of the knights because we rotated all the way through the pile. So if you knew you could rotate all the way to Sir Martin, that makes sense. Uh, but as I'm
so
saying that, clearly they
now
couldn't
Gribs
rotate to Sir Martin because they played all the battle plans they're allowed to play this turn, and they're stuck on Dame Molly.
okay. One lost city is fresh, that's not the worst. Now really Gribs played two warlords last turn. Now she draws a bunch of cards and can't just play her warlord. That's not great.
Yeah, this is the problem with having. Certainly, I would rather have three
Yeah.
warlords than one warlord, no question.
Yeah.
But you got to be
But
careful about it.
you just play the second. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only play the second warlord when your opponent when it's when your opponent played their warlord that turn. Then you can play two because you're not affected the next turn. But yeah,
OG wants a
I'd rather
province.
play
Are the piles that low?
the Lost City Caravan Guard is only one, and then you have five duplicates.
LTaco agrees.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, Lost City is low, Caravan Guard is
Hmm.
low, although there's not an obvious
Hmm.
third pile.
Only duplicate probably, but
I don't know, maybe province is correct there? Not clear to me.
mm,
I do like the idea, like, again, one of the problems with like adding a bunch of provinces to your deck is if it stops functioning, then it's doubly bad because then your opponent's deck starts functioning. I kind of like the idea of just like progressively adding duplicates to the deck and getting them on the mat and leaving them there, and then you're threatening to take like
mhm.
8 duchies at once or something is very scary. Or even just like you take a
Yeah,
bunch of one pile of action cards to pile out and get a bunch of free triumph large points alongside it.
I think it's LTaco has a good chance of piling.
Dame Sylvia somehow managed to whiff. There are very few cards in this deck that are not in
Hmm.
the 3 to 6 price range, and we found two
Yeah,
of them here with Necropolis and Spoils. And we've trashed a Hobble.
tries to hover. Nice.
Fewer knights have been gained than I would expect. A lot fewer
Yeah,
knights.
yeah, I agree. I would have expected a lot more of them, especially Molly. Maybe he rotates the knights again to fish the plus buy one now.
5 coins and Ironworks guarantees win for LTac. What is that looking like? So yeah, they got four
What?
duplicates down. Ironworks gains you a caravan guard. Then you buy a duplicate and you gain 4 duplicates. And then how do you empty the
Ah,
Lost City pile?
hmm.
Do they have a changeling in their deck? No, the changeling's gone.
I have four duplicates. Okay.
Oh, I see. The Dame Natalie gains the caravan guard. The Ironworks gains the duplicate. You duplicate that, and then you buy the Lost City. I see now.
Ah, that works. Okay.
Oh, we're doing something different.
Returned the art. What?
They didn't see it. Altaco does look favored. Having all the duplicates here seems like a pretty big deal. So is there
Yeah,
still a
for
win
sure.
here using the changeling somehow? So played Ironworks, gained an archer, called a
Changeling
duplicate.
can gain the lost city. So and Natalie can gain caravan card. Can gain. Yeah, that still works, right?
I have a
You
question.
buy the duplicate, gains the call the duplicates to gain the duplicates. Natalie gains caravan card and Changeling the lost city. That still works.
Am I mistaken, or did
It's still
calling
a win.
duplicate one archer do nothing?
Yeah,
So they
but it's
gained
still a win.
they gained an archer, but there's only one archer in the pile. So they called a duplicate and then nothing happened.
Wait,
Could they
no,
have?
they call duplicate returns an archer receives a changeling. Why did we call a duplicate? Wait,
Yeah, I think LTaco is
huh?
realizing they made a mistake here. I think this is a case
Yeah,
where
probably.
where you could choose the order, and they chose the wrong order.
Yeah,
So you gain an archer, and then there's two different on gain triggers. One is duplicate. When you gain a card, you can gain a copy of it, and then one is changeling. When
yeah,
you gain a card, you can exchange it. And there was only one archer in the pile, so they can't actually duplicate that archer. What they could have done
yeah,
was first resolve changeling, gain a
yeah.
changeling, put the archer back in the pile, then call duplicate, and now there'll be a second archer in the pile, and the duplicate can regain the original archer. They called
But
duplicate
why?
first, which caused it to do nothing, and then they did the changeling to gain a changeling.
But why do you want archers?
I don't know. I mean, I think it still piles out just with extra steps because you just turn the changeling into duplicate and then go from there. But yeah, there's no reason they had to gain an
No,
archer there to begin
changeling.
with.
I think it. You
I think,
buy so Natalie gains Caravan Guard, and you buy a duplicate and call the duplicates,
yeah,
and
they
then you
have a
can just
win.
buy and Changeling can gain the Lost City. So it's still a win, right?
Well, now they have too few duplicates because they just
No, they
wasted.
have four.
They have three left. They
Oh,
just
did
called
I?
one.
I see four
Uh,
duplicates there. Okay, no, it's only three. Yeah, you're right. It somehow showed four duplicates for me still, but that doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
okay,
okay.
so Gref's gonna let them
Undo
undo.
granted.
So I think,
Hmm.
yeah. So this is the order they should have done it in. And so I imagine El Taco noticed a different win, which will be Territory, Caravan Guard, and Lost City, which should still work. Now you do Dame Natalie gains a Caravan Guard,
Oh,
Changeling gains a Lost City, and
you
then you call duplicate
duplicates
three
for
times
territory.
on territory. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that also works. Yeah. I was confused about the arches.
Okay, we're going to game 7.
Yeah. And Changeling gains Lost City here.
And the rule for game 7, I think, is
Why
it's
do
a
you?
random starting player. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I remember last year I got knocked out fairly early, and I feel like that our game 7 was almost entirely decided by who was player 1, and it was not me.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. The randomized player order, that's great.
Yeah, it was a kingdom where the only reason we opened was bounty hunting catapult. We both opened with that, and then we both found it turn 3. And if you find bounty hunter
Mm-hmm.
catapult turn 3, you exile, you transfer the catapult, you hit 5, you attack your opponent, you thin 2 cards. That's a great opening. If you're player 2 and you get hit with the catapult attack, what do you discard down to? Either you just keep a catapult and you're hitting like 2 money, or you just keep the bounty hunter and you're not attacking your opponent.
Mm.
And it was over from like from turn 3. It was painful. Um,
It's really exciting to see a game 7 here. Yeah.
okay, Veal Spas.
Have fun.
Ha, that's strategic.
Oh, new table again?
You wish them to have fun. You don't wish them good luck, because then they might end up being player 1.
Yeah. I think we need a new table. Strupp is host now. Okay.
Did somebody put out the clarion call for the Game 7 alert?
I don't know.
Go see.
I just got kicked.
Yeah, Team Inco has already
Oh, nice.
posted about it. I have a question. Does grebst mean anything in particular in German? Is that a surname? Is that a noun?
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
just a random name she gave for an account. It doesn't mean anything, as far as I know. Do you see it?
You're
Some
not.
one of them online?
I don't see it as of yet.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back in a sec.
That's not it. Hmm. Are they still on the old server? I see them on the old server. Is this the old table? There they are. Okay. Alrighty. Game 7 coming up imminently. And Greps is player 1. And once again, we have a nasty kingdom. This is.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have to play like this. Oh, frig it.
ooh, what is the ferryman card? Oh, inventor.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Sir
always looks so naked
Uber Sichtlich.
because there are no landscapes. So yeah, it's really it looks so strange when there are no landscapes.
Yeah, they're just really trying to grind my gears here.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, so Team Inco and Jontz, but more slowly, notes that
No village.
Quartermaster with Cavalry is quite good because Cavalry is not a card you really want all that badly in your deck,
Mm.
but the on-gain effect is really
Hmm.
nice. And so you just Quartermaster gain a Cavalry every turn, and you get +2 cards for free every turn. Quartermaster also has the
Yeah,
weakness of like one turn you gain a card, one turn you put it in your hand. But if you're just using Quartermaster to gain a Cavalry every turn and never needing to put it in your hand, it's like twice as fast. So
a
yeah, let's talk
quartermaster
about
opening for LTaco is extremely strong.
the 5-2 opening looks better here than being player 1. So this should
Yeah,
favor LTaco, I would expect.
yeah. There's no village again.
So how did Grepst open? Silver Cavalry, probably a fine
Yeah.
opening. Did not get you to 5. Steph does
Mm.
not like Silver Cavalry. Well, let me think about the math on that. So you bought a silver, you buy the cavalry. I guess that's pretty unlikely to hit 5, isn't it? Um,
Uh, yeah. Another cavalry. Mm. I mean, you can get animal fairs for it, but
so El Taco needs to
mm.
buy a cavalry here because they bottom deck their quartermaster. This would be a lot worse if cavalry weren't in the kingdom. But you just buy cavalry here and you'll draw the quartermaster off the top.
Yeah,
Why didn't we turn a horse into an animal fair? Is animal fair even all that good here? It is a single terminal kingdom.
yeah,
Yeah, there we go. We're fine.
yeah. Grebst is still not hitting 5. Just another silver.
Yeah, probably just silver here. I mean, this also wouldn't be a terrible
Yeah,
time to buy animal fair. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that's a fine buy. I don't want
Yeah,
to turn a
that's
horse
also
into an
yeah,
animal fair very much, but if you're just turning a different terminal election card into a better terminal election card, that's not bad. And we didn't hit five. Yeah,
yeah,
this already looks pretty over. Admittedly, like having
yeah,
the 5-2 is a pretty big advantage, but probably the buys from Grips could have been a bit better calculated to hit five here than they were.
yeah. So as tackle, do you just spam the cavalries now until they are empty?
That's a good
You don't
question.
need to do it here because you already hit five, right? So it's probably not necessary to.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine leaving the cavalry in the pile here, and maybe just buy a
Yeah.
second quartermaster. And just like you with two quartermasters, you like aggressively lower cavalries, then you can empty all the estates, and then all of a sudden you're most of the way to winning.
Hmm.
Rush down the duchies or something.
He did gain a cavalry. Interesting.
I don't
Oh, for the buy, probably.
I don't know why they need to buy.
But was
Oh,
it
that's
worth it? I
disgust. El
don't know.
Taco. That is unacceptable. And with people
I think I
watching,
just
like
buy another quartermaster here
look
as Taco in this last turn.
in your own private games where it's just between you and the opponent. I guess you can do things like that. But in a public match with 23 spectators, you don't just buy gold. Have some decency.
Yeah, Krebs is a little bit unlucky here. That's true. You have to play the animal fair and buy a quartermaster.
Yeah, I think for El Taco, the play there was probably don't gain a cavalry because it triggers an unnecessary shuffle. Buy a second
Yes.
quartermaster. And then I would
Yeah,
probably just
that
exile
was.
like a silver maybe for a turn where you otherwise have a dud. Maybe that silver gets you to five or to
Yeah,
eight. Would have been a much better play.
I agree. I just would have gone for a second quartermaster and not gain a cavalry there.
Right now, I guess a nine, which is not a very important number. 10 would be a nice number.
Second quartermaster for
Yeah,
Den. Okay.
10 and a
Hmm.
silver seems fine. Yeah, the 2-5 certainly brutal. The not seeing five until turn six. Well, I mean that could always happen, but I feel like their opening also kind of contributed to not seeing five money until turn six.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to the turn two buy, you're triggering a shuffle by buying cavalry turn two. Like if
Yeah.
you're opening like an important $3 card that you really want to play ASAP, like a dinner or something, maybe like I don't know, goat herd or something. Like you buy the $3 card, you buy the cavalry, you trigger a shuffle that has now both of your best cards in your deck in it, and you're either playing them immediately in turn two or playing them turn three. That's all well and good. I think there can be cases where turn two cavalry looks pretty nice. But in this case, what you're really trying to find is not just find the silver, but find it with three other coppers. And the shuffle you're triggering has silver, three coppers, and two estates and a cavalry in it. So the odds that you draw silver and three coppers turn three are not actually all that high. Um, Goat Herd is a sub. Oh, Goat Herd's not sub three. It is a $3 or less thinner. Masquerade or Steward are better thinners, but they're also cards that you don't want to see super much with the cavalry. So I was trying to go with a good non-terminal thinner. Um, I don't think Masquerade Cavalry would actually be all that great of an opening. Steward Cavalry might be fine. I feel like they could collide, but you're still trashing two. With Masquerade, you're also triggering a shuffle, which is kind of awkward. Forager just is Goat Herd, but worse. It's the best
What do you
example.
do once the cavalries are emptied?
For El Taco, just take all the estates probably.
Okay. With only one quartermaster? That's very slow.
Well, in my head, they made the right decision and gained two quartermasters. I still haven't really reconciled with the actual card they gained. Necromancer with Highway and plays a $3 Trasher. I do like my Necromancer openings. I'm not sure how you also fit a Highway. Maybe you had an inherited Highway. Um, I think maybe Shaman would be a good example of a card that you'd want to open with a turn 2 cavalry buy. Yes, Shaman, sure. DZ also kept bringing this up, as if somehow the only acceptable pronunciation is Shaman, which is not the case. Both of those are valid pronunciations of that card.
I think I say shaman, but I'm not a native speaker, so I might be completely wrong.
Trevor is just trying to sham me into saying it wrong.
Shame, man.
Samhain is a different word and pronounced, yeah, Samhain. That I was just talking about that with my sister like a day ago. I I know that like internally there are consistent rules to Irish pronunciation, but they are inscrutable to me. You could show me Irish words and my guess would not be better than random chance how they're pronounced. No, no, no. So English, it's hard to pronounce because the rules are just inconsistent and there's a million exceptions. But then there's like some
Yeah,
languages where
that's
there
true.
are rules, they're just weird rules, so they're not intuitive. If you learn them, it would be easy. English, you can know all the rules and you're still gonna mess up on half the words.
I was so confused about the when tournament got removed and we got the new rewards and it calls domain.
I guarantee you
That
that
was
like
really a weird pronunciation to me.
less than 1% of English speakers know that word. I didn't know that word. Uh, it is one of those words that you can probably technically find in the dictionary, but zero people ever use the word domain. And you can tell that because like even all the English native speakers misspell it the way John says all the time. Uh,
I think I played chorus when and she said domain and I said what? We don't have this card in here in this kingdom.
yeah, it's spelled like Demesne.
Yeah.
Anyways, I kind of tuned out, but it looks like LTaco is well ahead here.
Yeah,
Dominion has a lot of non-English words, so there's that. Dominion has a lot of like
that's
archaic
true.
English words that no one uses anymore. As far as straight up just not
I've never heard
English,
house Carl before either.
I I've seen it spelled Huskarl because I used to really like the game Age of Empires, where the Huskarl was the unique
House
group of
Carl?
of the Goths. Um, so I'd seen that word in one intentionally medieval context. Um, but yeah, that one's super rare. I think Avento might just straight up not be an English word. Sauna definitely is used plenty in English, but I think Avento might literally just only be Finnish.
What is Finnish?
Avento?
Ah, okay. Probably, yeah. I say Avanto.
Who knows? It's not an English word. What is the correct way to pronounce it in English? Unclear. What are some other
And
Footpad
you
is another
say
one that like is a
goat,
very
goat
archaic
herd,
word.
right?
Goat herd, yeah.
I say gathered.
Go
So
go
I don't
third.
know.
How to lose a three-player game. Oh,
Got a
that reminds me.
goat herd.
Wait, what about the landmark that gives you 4 victory points for having 3 copies of an action card?
I don't know the names of that.
Hmm.
I have to reread that all the time.
Yeah, Scherer has it.
Orchard.
Okay, you got it.
I don't know how to be.
Maybe this is a coincidence, but I've noticed a lot of German speakers read that one as Orchard. Like Dr.
Okay.
Steelhammer used to always say Orchard.
What do you say?
Orchard. I think you sound like you
Orchard,
said it
yeah.
basically right, yeah. Um,
Okay.
Triumphal Arch. What is, or do you maybe, is it like Arch versus Arc is the question?
I would try say triumphal arc,
I would say
but I
Arch.
would say orchard. But I don't know if that's correct at all.
No,
It's
but
just a feeling.
I think both of them are Arch.
Okay.
Orchard really more than Orchard. But yeah, Triumphal Arch.
Okay.
Uh,
I really have to learn a lot of English words.
but which word were you referring to? 5-4. It's an English word like chateau, gateau, chandelier, pajamas, bungalow. Haven't I? Well,
Oh,
there's words that like are. Oh, the game ended. Congratulations
yes.
to El Taco. That was
Taco.
close.
Yeah.
Refs had 2 chances to win
Great
that one.
match.
Yeah. So El Taco does advance and doesn't get upset. But I mean, that last game, I think they had a very advantageous start, and also the Old Witch game, as I recall. So refs had 2 games here that were pretty hard to win in the first place, and still managed to take it to a game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So well done.
Yeah. Really well done.
Alrighty, well, that is the first official match of the championship. It is underway. Good luck to everybody. Toodaloo.